Hi guys and girls, and welcome back to an episode of Formula 1. Today's episode comes from the Russian Grand Prix. Now, if those of you have not seen the Russian Grand Prix, then please don't watch the episode, come back and watch it at a later date, because I don't want to spoil anything for you. That's a spoiler out the way with. Now, going on to the race obviously from Sunday, a lot has happened. Your top three are Nico Rosberg finishes in first place yet again, meaning he now has 100 point. He's now up to 100 points in the drivers' standings, some 43 points ahead of second place Lewis Hamilton. Lewis finished second place in the race, with Kimi Raikkonen finishing in third. And those are your top three. Right, a lot has happened, which is kind of why I'm glad I've left it a little bit later, because obviously there's a lot has gone through involving the incidents involving Vettel and Daniel Kvyat. Now, the top news is what happened in the race. Daniel Kvyat blocks up in braking, slams right into the back of Vettel, those two having another little tussle this time out, as they did in China previously. Now, Vettel wasn't too happy, as you can see, and then they collided again in turn 3, and this is one of the most controversial things that's happened so far this season, because, and Vettel admitted this, that he was trying to overtake Hamilton but wasn't sure if he had damage on his car, so at the same time was trying to check. Therefore he lifted off on a high speed corner, and I'll show you in a little while which corner he lifted up on, and Daniel Kvyat yet again was still behind and crashed into him twice, this all being in the opening lap. So he brakes, he gets shunted in this corner, so he's now trying to jostle and trying to get him. When he gets to about here, he is hit again and spins in this corner because he lifted off. So yes, very very weird why you'd lift off on a high speed corner, because that is one of the fastest parts of the circuit. Don't know why, who knows. But because of this, Daniel Kvyat has now been bumped down to Toro Rosso. He is not running for Red Bull in the next race, effective immediately. So who's going to be taking his seat? Well, Max Verstappen, who is currently running in Toro Rosso, will be running in the Red Bull for the rest of the season, or to see how well he does. I don't know if he's got it for the full season. They might give him a few races and see how well he does and then go from there. But as far as I know, the information so far is that Max Verstappen is taking Daniel Kvyat's seat. They are switching over. So a lot has happened recently in the last few days involving Formula 1. It's been crazy. The action was good. The actual race itself, wasn't too bad. A bit mediocre, apart from obviously the first opening laps, which were actually incredible, and then things livened up as the race got on. Now, Lewis Hamilton had a little bit of bad luck in the qualifying. His car yet again just lost power, cut out during qualifying, so he wasn't able to set time in Q3, therefore started in 10th. Now, I was a little bit, not concerned, but a little bit confused of why commentators on Sunday in the race day were saying that Lewis Hamilton starting from 10th, and they didn't think he was going to get very far. He started further back in the last couple of races that they've had, and has put on a very good show. So they were heavily surprised when by the first lap he was already running 5 paces up. Well, everyone else crashed, and it's Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton's one of the best overtaking drivers on the circuit, or on the grid rather. So of course he was going to do well. But that's just my opinion. Obviously they thought that he was obviously going to have more issues with his car, so who knows, that's down to them. Rosberg basically walked away with it from the start. Then it wasn't changed by anybody. I think Lewis Hamilton could have done, but I think he was more worried that if he pushed his car too much, his car would break, so he was kind of being a little bit safe. Still obviously got himself into second, did a lot, but it wasn't the same sort of aggressive style we have seen from him in the past. Williams got 4th and 5th. Now they came back after the race had finished, and they basically said they weren't happy with where they finished. Well, they still got a lot of points. They've got a lot of decent points they needed, but I think because Bottas started in second on the grid after qualifying, I think they were hoping for at least one of the cars to finish on the podium, and they just missed out. So I think they saw opportunity wasted, so I think that's probably why they were kicking themselves a bit. Good news for Renault, thanks to a good race from both drivers actually. Jolene Palmer finished just outside the top 10, Button got the last point, because there's some good news as well. But Kevin Magnussen scores the first points for Renault this season, being the first Renault driver to score points for them as a team since since a while ago. I can't remember the guy's name, he's just literally gone off my head. So yeah, I was going to mention that and now suddenly he's gone. So yes, but yeah, they haven't scored points since about 2010, so 5 years down the line they've started scoring points again, so that's excellent. And I think Kevin Magnussen was awarded driver of the race, so big well done to him. It's nice to see Kevin Magnussen doing what he does best and actually having a decent race, because last few times they hadn't really had the car. McLaren, both of them scoring points. Alonso finished 6th. He got some big points for McLaren. Obviously with Jenson Button taking the last point from as well, they scored a nice little bang of points. So they're doing alright as well. They're not doing too badly themselves. They said that they had a much better car this race than they had done for a while, and they were actually, Jenson Button was actually doing not some bad racing with the Toro Rossos and with the Renaults, so very well done to them. Also, another big other news in Formula 1 is that Red Bull, with Daniel Ricciardo and the practice sessions of Russia, were trying out the new aero windshield. So, possibilities in the near future that Formula 1 cars will be having a windscreen. But I can see it would work on circuits like this, where it's sunny, not as in the track, but obviously when it's sunnier track. Because Daniel Ricciardo did report back saying visibility is pretty much exactly the same. There's not much in it at all. Doesn't gain, it doesn't lose either, so that's excellent. But obviously, I've found that obviously I noticed that if it rains, it doesn't have windscreen wipers. So if it rains, it's going to be just as bad. Unlike your helmet visor, where you can just wipe it off with your hand or peel back a layer just to get rid of some of the excess water, you can't really do it with a windscreen. You can't really lean your hand out of the car and pull back a huge windscreen cover like you do with your visor. So it only really work on tracks where obviously it's sunny. If it does change, obviously are they going to have a system where it's a quick release and you then just remove it? I don't know. It's still in testing. It's still obviously a prototype. Haven't said it's definitely going to come. They've said it's not going to come. So they're just trying out new ideas, because obviously Formula 1 is the leading brand in safety when it comes to racing. So obviously they are keeping that part of the bargain sorted. So that's most of the main news that has happened so far in this Russian Grand Prix, and it has been a hell of a Grand Prix. What a season. So, like I said, Rosberg continues to push his lead further in championship standings. Is Lewis going to have a comeback? A lot of people said if his comeback was to start, it should have happened on Sunday in Russia. Personally, I think it did. Didn't get a win, however, but he still put on a very good show. So, there is a lot more to come. If you liked it, put a like and comment in the description, and I'll see you guys later!